Hey, what's up guys? I'm Cam from the Session team, and I'm here to tell you that you've been hoodwinked, you've had the wool pulled over your eyes, and you've been made a fool of by these 5 privacy myths. But don't worry, because I'm here to bust them, so let's go. This is definitely one of the most broad and pervasive myths about privacy out there, and it's also one that you're likely to run into with people who don't know what they're talking about. This is one that you'll be at Christmas dinner and you're talking to Uncle Johnny about big tech and surveillance capitalism, and he hits you with the whoa, 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 cool your jets, pal. I got nothing to hide. Why do I care about my privacy? And at that point, you jump the table, start throwing hands, or alternatively, you can just tell him privacy is normal. Privacy has always been normal. Privacy has always been something that people desire for as long as there's been people. It can be as simple as just having some time to yourself, being alone. That is a way of exercising your privacy. It can be as simple as wearing clothes. Hey, Uncle Johnny, why are you wearing pants for if you don't care about privacy? It's a simple, fundamental thing that all people need and all people deserve. Now, we've all probably used Incognito mode. And even though it does have one pretty important use case, is it actually incognito? And what does that actually mean? Because it's a weird word. Incognito, to be incognito, means to conceal your true identity. So being incognito offline, I'm thinking like big moustache, some sort of large hat and some glasses, probably. Online, it's not so simple. The only thing that incognito mode actually does is hiding your browsing history from other people that might be using the same browser on the same device. It doesn't actually hide your identity or what you're doing from Google or from your ISP. And if that sounds shady and maybe kind of even illegal, then you're right. Because Google very recently settled a class action lawsuit for $5 billion that was brought against them for misleading their users about the privacy and anonymity features of incognito mode. So incognito mode doesn't really protect your identity at all online, and there are a bunch of other better options that are available to you if that's what you want to do. So I'm not going to sit here and say, don't use a strong password. You should use a strong password, and you should use many unique strong passwords, ideally randomly generated by your password manager and stored in the password manager. We've actually got a video coming up pretty soon comparing the different ones, so look out for that. The problem is that no matter how strong your password is, it doesn't matter if the wrong people get their hands on it. This can happen when you accidentally give it to the wrong person through some sort of social engineering attack, such as phishing, which I don't know about you, I've been getting more and more phishing emails every day, and they're getting more and more sophisticated, so it can be very dangerous. The other way that a strong password can commonly be compromised is if it's stolen from someone who you have entrusted it with through a data breach, typically. And this is especially dangerous if you repeat your strong password through a lot of different accounts. In both of these scenarios, literally the strongest password that you could possibly come up with wouldn't actually protect you. What will protect you is two-factor authentication, or 2FA, which for those of you who don't know, basically just means that if there is some sort of suspicious login into one of your accounts, you'll be contacted usually via email or with a text, and then you'll be asked to confirm that it's you trying to access the account. So yeah, strong passwords, extremely useful, but there are other things that you need to do in order to protect your security online. So there are a lot of private messaging apps out there, and they're all at least a little different. The differences in their design can impact you a lot in terms of your privacy and your security, so it's really important to know the differences. There are different kinds of encryption. End-to-end encryption is the only one which will stop your messages from being viewable by the company that runs the messaging app that you're using. And even when they have this kind of encryption, there is still information about you that might be accessible to this company and whoever wants to gain that information from that company. A few years ago, there was a whistleblower from the Treasury Department in the US who was using WhatsApp to communicate with a journalist at BuzzFeed in order to shine a spotlight on some shady stuff that was going on. The metadata from her WhatsApp conversation with that journalist ended up being key to her prosecution, and she's now in jail. So not all private messaging apps are created equal, and you should definitely make sure that whichever one you're using is suitable to your needs and your threat model. All right, so now I just want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, NordVPN, no, I'm just kidding. But you've probably seen so many of these VPN-sponsored YouTube videos. They're everywhere. VPNs are everywhere. About a quarter of people in the US use VPNs regularly, which I think is pretty crazy. It's a lot of people. The thing is that VPNs tend to overpromise the amount of protection and anonymity that they can provide to you. There are a lot of cool things that a VPN can do. You know, if you want to access Netflix from another country, get some more content. If you want to increase your security while you're using a public Wi-Fi network, very handy for that. If you just are at home and you don't want to be tracked on the internet, valid. But don't think that it's going to completely protect your identity while you're using the internet. All that a VPN basically does is act as an intermediary between you and the rest of the internet. So your ISP doesn't know what you're doing, and the sites that you're visiting don't know who you are, which is great. But obviously you're putting a lot of trust in the VPN when you do this. And there have been many, many cases of VPNs logging the activity of the people who are using them. And so you should not put absolute trust in any VPN, and you should be aware of the risks that you're taking when you use them. Okay, we did it. 5 privacy myths busted. And I hope that you found it useful. I hope that you can use this information to be more safe online, to protect your identity online and protect your personal information. If you want to get better at spotting these privacy myths, then check out the channel, because we have a bunch of other content like this that you can use to be safer online and to hide yourself from the surveillance state. So check it out, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for joining me.